Amanda writes us, I know you're not a doctor because I constantly say I don't give medical advice. And this question is a bit medically based. So could you elaborate on what type of blood work you get done and what are you looking for? Oh, yeah, okay. I get blood work done a couple of times a year. Don't forget, I also donate blood 3 times a year. In fact, I better double check that. I might even go in today. I do a thing called double red, or power red is sometimes called, where I donate 2 whole units of blood and then they give me my plasma back. So they just basically have all the hard stuff, all the red blood cells, the white blood cells. And you can only do that 3 times a year. So they also do a lot of blood tests when you do that. I go in obviously for my annual physical, and I get the whole Dr. Brunetti profile. That's all your cholesterols, your A1C. That's the double check if you're a diabetic or not, and I'm absolutely not. But I also pay a few times a year to get my hormones looked at, and I do it after my before and after some experiments I do. Probably the most interesting experiment I've done this year, Amanda, is I had my testosterone levels checked, and then I did a fast mimicking diet because it said that on a fast mimicking diet your testosterone goes up. Well, my testosterone went through the roof after 5 days on it, which makes me go, that works pretty good. Yeah, I do this. So, and I also get a few other blood tests done there too. At the age I'm at, I worry a little bit about certain male issues with the prostate and stuff. And of course, this year I got the opportunity to give a colonoscopy, which is another wonderful little thing. But so I'm a big believer in going through as much as you can. Do you request certain tests from your doctor when you go in for blood work? Yes. Yes, I do. And I ask for testosterone. Dr. Brunetti doesn't always let me do that, so that's why I go to another place and get it done and I pay for it. Do you request certain tests? Yes. Also, you mentioned briefly about donating blood because your body is rusting. All right. This comes from Dan and Mary Eads' book, EADES, Protein Power Lifespan Program. And in that book, they note that our bodies have been at war with parasites for a long time. And so what the body and the parasites want to get certain things. And so our bodies become very good about hiding iron from them. And the problem with hiding iron is that iron begins to build up in the bloodstream, okay? And it's called hematocrit. And I've noticed in my own life, when my hematocrit levels sneak around, now this is the older test. The new test, you divide all these numbers by 3. But in the older numbers, which I'm much more familiar with because I've been given blood since 1976, was when my number started up to 48, 49, I felt sluggish. Now, it's hard to explain that. One time I went in and they were at 51, which, I mean, that's what those long distance bike racers, that's why they take that one drug to knock that number up there. After I give blood, I'm back down to 43, 42, and I feel like my blood flows better. So an interesting thing, and this is where the research, I always love it where the research comes from, is that they had noticed that men and women rarely get heart attacks until after menopause. And one researcher stopped and said, well, what's the difference here? Well, of course, it's menses. And so they began to think that whether this is true or not, I just know in my case it's true, is that because of menses, you're constantly, losing iron. And by donating blood, I'm getting that iron taken out of me. It is interesting to think that it is a condition, and some people actually have it, where their hematocrit levels are too high, and it can be an issue in the realm of heart problems. So that's why I do it.